97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock.
Hi, this is Michael Spedden, 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. Welcome to our YouTube page where you can find all of the national and local band interviews from my show, www.youtube.com/97underground, Michael Spedden. Remember, the Back of the Rack is now on every Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time and on Wednesday from 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern Time for the replay. Download the free app from 97underground.com and listen anytime, anywhere. And hit that like and subscribe button and allow notifications so you'll know whenever a new episode launches. Enjoy the interview. Hey, folks, welcome to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. And welcome to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@97underground, Michael Spedden, where we have all of our interviews here for your viewing and listening pleasure. And today is no exception. We have a brand new interview from Gastem. Gastem is releasing new material, and they also have some material that is being newly released this year. And we had Mark Schenker and Rob Galpin come on to talk about this today. You can find out more about Gastem if you look up Gastem 1985 on Facebook and Instagram, Gastem Band on YouTube, and EonianRecords.com/Gastem. You can find out all kinds of information. You can get their material through these sites, and all of these things will be listed in the show notes. So don't forget, folks, every Monday, 2 to 4 p.m., tune into the Back of the Rack on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. If you're up on a Wednesday night, very, very late, can't get to sleep, turn me on. I'm on 2 to 4 a.m., and don't forget our YouTube page we just mentioned, and you're watching it right now. Hit that like and subscribe button too. And don't forget to download the free app so you can listen anytime, anywhere. So without further ado, here is my interview with Gastem. And welcome back to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. Today we are here with members of Gastem. We've got Mark Schenker and Rob Galpin with us to talk about some new releases that are going to be coming out very, very soon, and also some new material that there are plans to release this material by the end of the year, I believe. So, gentlemen, it's great to have you back on the show. Positive response to the material that you've sent me so far, and I've played. And so congrats on that. And so I'm excited to hear about the new releases you have.
Yeah, we have Eonian Records. They got interested in our material, and they are actually re-releasing the two albums that we released on our own in 85 and 86. So that's pretty exciting. To have them, they're kind of they're going to allow people to kind of rediscover us all over again on a broader scale than we could do back in the day. And so it's really just cool to see that these songs still have life all these years later, and really fun working on this stuff. So, and Eonian has been great.
You know something, I've had a number of other guests from the Mid-Atlantic region, like we are, and are working with Eonian as well. And I can't say enough good things about that. I think a lot of us may have been in the same boat back in those days where, there may have been some unfinished business. There may have been, where, the bands that people were in kind of stopped. And now people are getting an opportunity to pick up where they left off. The kids are grown, you're established, all the responsibilities. Now, what can I get myself into? Aha! We're getting the band back together, right? Yeah. And now, Eonian Records, here they are, and they're helping people distribute and get this stuff heard. And again, I'm happy to help do my part with that too. Congratulations on that as well.
Considering our distribution back in the day was just selling them at gigs, we couldn't even get a mail order or anything. It was just like, hey, we have cassettes, and we actually did pretty well. I remember, Rob, didn't we run out a couple of times and we had to order some more or something? So
Yep,
that
I
was
think so.
pretty good for a little old bar band, playing
Right.
originals.
Yep. I mean, back in those days, I would have to say we were an industrious lot, weren't we?
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, if
uh,
you weren't marching to your own beat, you were left behind and nobody cared.
right,
So,
right. Well, and the thing is, finding a way to get your material out there, finding a way, because, if you're in the same boat with me, we were, 18, 19 years old, broke,
oh yeah.
trying to get something out, something to give ourselves a name. And, I can remember, a bunch of times just getting out the double cassette decks.
Oh, I
Um,
have one right here.
yeah,
Got a
getting out.
speed knob on it and I can slow stuff down. Actually, that's what I just looked at because I thought one of the Gastem tapes was sitting on top, but it wasn't. It was something else.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, you
That
had to have the double cassette deck, right?
right. Oh yeah. So that way you can dub a bunch of tapes
Oh yeah.
before you went out that night to sell them, and then also, scraping nickels and dimes together to take to the copy shop or to take to any Xerox you could find
Oh yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
make flyers and everything. And I to tell you, we back in those days, even before it was cool, we were taking DIY to new levels, I
Oh
think, huh?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we actually had them done by a duplication company. I think they were probably local. Um, I think there
So
was
yeah, I
one.
remember,
It was in
Mark.
Virginia, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. It was actually in Clearwater, Florida,
Oh, it was Florida. Okay.
and it was a thing that I think Craig found
Hmm.
because they were making at the time that the company was called Evitone,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were making like little phonograph records that would be like on the back of a cereal box.
Ah, wow. Okay.
That was their big thing. And
Hmm.
somehow Craig found that through that they were also did other duplication services. And so yeah, that was kind of an interesting twist.
Yeah, but it worked out. I mean, we had, we had the cassettes were white. They weren't like Maxell with, magic marker written over them, so it looked
And
pretty
we were
pro.
so ready to do it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It-
Yeah.
That close.
Yeah,
right,
that's right.
right.
That's
Well,
right.
well, yeah. Again, trying to look professional and everything, but sometimes something would come up where you had to do that. I remember DC Star told me a story, because I think there was a legal battle because up until the time they got signed, they were called Stars.
Oh yeah, sure.
But then there
There
was
was
another band called
another
Stars, and when
band.
their
Uh-huh.
album came out, they had their CD release or their album release party. They actually had to scratch or actually write DC on their records before
Oh
they
wow.
sold them at the gig and everything because of what happened. But yeah, those were the good old days.
Yep.
I mean, and I still have some of various bands, cassettes or CDs that were just
Hmm.
handwritten on instead of actually professionally printed or anything. But
Hmm.
we went with it.
You
Yep.
know, one thing that I think was kind of unique for us was it wasn't like we were a band and then we said, well, we're gonna have to record our songs and sell them. It was actually was the other way around. We started writing and recording, and we had the first album written and recorded and packaged, and then we said, well, we better make a band.
Hmm. Yeah.
We better make a band to kind of follow this up a little bit, and then
Hmm.
that's actually when we kind of then we started working with Mark. I mean, we were already working with him because we knew him from previous stuff, but that was when we said, all right, we're going to actually make a band out of this, and we're going to need more than one guitar. And then Mark actually came and played guitar in
Hmm.
the first version of Gastem.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So you have some material now that was around years ago, and it's being newly released, coming up soon. And the one song that you sent me, um, that's just love. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's the opening
Yep.
song. That's the first song on the first album. So that's the opening salvo.
Okay. Okay. And so when was this written?
Oh, let's see. So this has all happened in, I think, early in 1985.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been around a few minutes, but I think it's great that you're getting it out there. Like we were saying before, there's a lot of bands just had, unfinished business. And people are getting, I think it's great because I know, from having been on the scene myself, just a lot of bands out there had some really, really great stuff back then
Yeah.
that, I mean, I would put up, almost against anything that was signed and on record labels
Oh yeah.
in those
Agreed.
days.
Yeah.
They may not have had the resources, they may not have had the connections, but in terms of, ability, in terms of, quality of writing
Hmm.
and things like that. I mean, there were, a lot of people out there that just never got the record contract, or if they did, they got it at the wrong time.
Yeah. Or it was a, sub label of a sub label
Hmm.
and no
Right,
money and no budget and all that good stuff. So
right.
no
And
management, no agent, nothing. So
and of course, the music industry has always been known for its scruples and morals and
yeah.
being straight with people too, right?
Yeah. What is that Hunter Thompson quote? The music industry is lined with thieves and murderers and long hallways of death and destruction and despair, and there's also a bad side. Something like that. It's a great quote by Hunter S. Thompson.
That's about right. That's
Yeah,
about
it's
right.
about
Well,
right.
he was something else, dude.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
a
the
piece of
best.
work, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Great. Well, let's go ahead and give this one a spin. That's just love.
cool.
Stay on the run. Your heaven sent my son. Carry the flame that still burns in your heart. Stand by your
that's excellent. I understand too that there's going to be there's a video plan for this as well, huh?
Yeah, Eonian wanted to have a video to accompany the re-releases of the albums, and they chose this song, and they're putting something together, and it's everything that they've done. They took our old art from 1985
Hmm.
and they brushed it up and made it look
Colorized it.
really, really nice. They did a lot of work making the packaging what
Hmm.
we had put together and not changing the vibe, which
Right,
I
right.
was totally impressed. And so we're just excited to see what they're going to do with the video. We haven't even seen it yet. So
Mhm. Well, that's excellent. That you've got this, and you're working with people who know how to do these things.
Yeah, that's always good.
It
It's a
always
plus.
is, yeah, because I've worked with some people that don't know how to do these things,
They don't know what they're
and
doing.
yikes. Well,
Yeah.
it's always good to have people who are very well versed in their craft, we would say, right?
Right, right,
Right,
right.
right. So you've got another release that's going to be coming out very soon, and we'll talk about that in a minute here. But you are also planning to release new material, new material. By the
Hmm.
end of the year as well. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Rob.
we have sure. The what it really is that and don't take this the wrong way, but we recorded twice as much material when we did Gastem 3 as what we put on Gastem 3.
Right.
So in a way, this is Gastem 3.2. Um,
Okay.
not to say though that these are lesser cuts
Right. Right.
because they're not at all. And one thing about them is they weren't totally finished. We recorded them, but some of the parts were in demo form, and a couple of the songs had we didn't have Mark on them playing bass yet, and because he was still doing kick stuff,
Oh, right. Right.
we were putting a lot of these things together. It's been a couple of years now, and so then after he was freed up to do that, and we got his bass tracks on there, and of course it takes it to another level. It always does. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're real excited about the material on this. When you go back and listen to it, we uh Craig and I have had a couple long conversations where we go, wow, I think this is better than what we had on Gastem 3. What did we do? We chose the wrong songs for Gastem. So
Well,
well,
Yeah, and
hey,
I'm surprised when I get them, to play bass on them, and I haven't heard them or even knew they existed. So I get a lead sheet from Rob, kind of looks like this,
oh, okay,
and
right,
then
right.
and then I just go through it and I make up bass parts. I'm like, yeah, man, this is a pretty good song. And then
Hmm.
then after I finish playing bass, then I'll turn up the vocal because I usually don't record with the vocal because I don't really need to hear that when I'm playing
can you
bass.
believe that? Let's have a meeting about that right now.
But then I hear it when the vocals on there. I'm like, oh
Right.
wow, this is terrific.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
there's other people on this recording?
yeah. Well, I mean, I have to focus. I need to move
Right,
to
right.
be in the right headspace to not think about other things while I'm recording. So yeah, it's great to you know after I'm finished to hear just my little rough mix on my system, and then I send my bass tracks to Rob, and then it really comes to life when Rob mixes it. So
Right,
yeah, it's
right,
been
right.
really good, and I do agree with Rob. I think that the quality of the material that is there is, at least as good
Mhm.
as what we did on Gas and 3. I mean, I'm really impressed with what we've been doing. So
Well,
I think it's going to be great.
I think it's awesome that and the other thing too, I mean, it just goes to show you we're living in a completely different era
Hmm.
when we can, send each other tracks, send each other things. We don't have to all be there at the same time with the clock ticking. You
Hmm.
really kind of get a chance to take your time with what you're doing. I'm sure that makes a
Oh
difference.
yeah, because you're not on the clock
Right.
with the record company. I'll tell you a quick story about working virtually. The Brad Divins, who was in, of course, Wrathchild America, and now he's a famous mixing engineer, and he works
Hmm.
for Enrique Iglesias and
Yeah.
Joe Perry and all kinds of other really, you know,
Yeah. Kicks
famous
alumni
people.
too.
So he mixed the Kicks Live accompaniment CD that was with the video that we did in like 2016 or something like that.
Hmm.
And Brad and I did the whole thing over text. We never talked.
Wow.
We didn't talk until like a year and a half later. And
Wow.
I ran into him somewhere, but we did the whole thing over text. And he would just send me, you know, sample mixes. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's great. It's great. Or whatever the
Hmm.
comments was. And we never spoke. And then even before that, we probably hadn't spoken 20 years.
Right.
So it's like, you know,
Wow.
we're kind of doing that well, we did it with Gastem 3, you know, it's like, here's all the stuff. It's your turn to play. Send it all back. And then maybe you need to talk, maybe you don't. You know, it's not that you don't want to talk. It's just not necessary, you know?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
You know what's funny? It's a little bit like, you know, when we used to rehearse, and we were all together in a room, and
Mhm.
there's no real talking going on because everybody knows what everybody else is thinking anyway,
Mhm.
and there's chemistry in the room, and there's just not a whole lot of chit chat. It's you get right down because you all know why you're there,
Mhm.
and so you know, in some ways, it's not that different from that, you know.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, agreed.
Right. Right. Well, let's give this other song a spin here. This is "Push the Limit."
You made a pretty long trip, even longer with a cracking
Oh, that's a great song, and I understand there's a kind of a story behind it, huh, Rob?
Yeah, there was when I Craig and I first cooked up the idea that he was going to do drum tracks virtually
Mhm.
using MIDI, and that we were going to be able to, exchange things back and forth from Florida up to here. This was actually the first thing that we tried. And so that Push the Limit is what ended up being the very first thing that we tried to do. I mean, even before anything else that was like on Gastem 3 or any of that, this was the first thing that we said, let's see if this works. Let's see if we can come up with a workflow and if we can really actually do this. And that's the song that came out of that. So it's special. It's special to us for that reason.
Great,
Milestone.
great. So you had mentioned before, talking about sending tracks to each other and everything to do with this. Are you actually, you're self-producing the album? Is it like Rob? Are you doing like the mixing and the producing end of it too, or is it all of you together?
I do mixes and then I send them out to Mark and Craig and they give me feedback and
Sure.
I make changes um so we go back and forth. It's definitely a collaboration,
Yeah, yeah.
where we're trying to get because inevitably there are details in the drums that I miss,
Hmm.
and Craig will be like, this thing needs to come out here and there, and
Right,
and
right.
also inevitably I will not mix the bass loud enough. So I think Mark has like a little copy and paste thing that he just copy and pastes in there. It says turn the bass up. But
Oh
yeah,
my.
but no, it's a good we go back and forth a lot really with that because there's a vibe, it's not like I don't think it's like I'm a great mixer or producer or anything like that. I think that when we work together we end up kind of generating a vibe,
Right.
and that
Hmm.
kind of goes beyond it's a personality that I think is in the music that comes from the way that we collaborate and like
Yeah, it
that.
comes from all three of us for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great that you've gotten this back together after all this time here. I mean, you all have done your other things over the years and everything, but to come back to this, it's got to be great. I mean, I guess you're probably. I mean, has it turned out to be everything you thought it was going to be? Everything that you wanted? You're able to do it now.
Well, it's
Yeah,
fun. I mean,
yeah,
it's a
Yeah.
blast
yeah.
because it doesn't, it's not there's no expectations. There's no, particular buckets that we're writing and recording for, and there's no, we all like the sound of hard rock, so that's
Sure.
that's an easy thing to make sure that we nail that down. But it's fun because it only matters to us. It doesn't matter to like some record company guy is going to come in and say, "Oh, I need a vocal up mix or whatever." That's just not going to happen. So we get to do whatever we want, and there's no real consequence
Hmm.
other than putting it out and being proud of it and having it sound great and be like, well, if people get it, it's great. We had so much fun doing it. We'll just keep doing it.
Hmm.
So I like the fact that there's not, like I said, there's no buckets we're writing for. There's no sound that we're trying to get. We're just trying to accomplish it one song at a time.
Hmm.
So there's just no constraints whatsoever, and it's very freeing for me.
Yeah.
After being in Kicks for 23 years, so um, that was so yeah, it's great for me. I love that part of it, and I think those guys, Rob and Craig, I would imagine they feel the same way. So
Yeah,
Well,
we're getting a second chance to make a run at something that we, playing music and creating music and creating a band, creating the visualization of a band as a whole,
yeah.
which is something that I really, Craig is great at that.
Hmm.
I think he brings everything together so that it's this one cohesive kind of look and feel, and he's like packages it. And so this is stuff that we did 40 years ago,
Right.
and we're
Right.
still doing it now. It's really extremely remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is remarkable. Yeah.
I mean, and we used to
Yeah.
we were recording songs, and the whole idea of it back then was to get it on a cassette and put it in your car and listen to it in your car at top volume.
Mhm.
And that was it. If once you did that and you liked it, then you were done and you moved on to the next song.
Yeah, that's right. You were done.
Right.
Next.
Right.
Next song.
Well, in the time that we have left here, and I'm glad that you all came back to us. You're sharing your new material or your new releases with us, and I'm hoping that you're going to be willing to share your new material when it comes out as well, when that time comes. Where can we find out more about Gastem? Where are you on the web? I know you've got a Facebook page, of course, but do you want to list websites and everything at this point?
Yeah, so we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. Both of those you can look up Gastem 1985.
Okay, Gastem 1985.
Yeah. And then on
Okay.
YouTube, it's Gastem Band.
Okay.
And then at the label, it's eonianrecords.com/Gastem.
So Gastem Band on YouTube and
And the
Record
label,
or Eonian Records.
yep, .com/Gastem.
Great, great. And folks, those of you playing along at home and listening, we'll have these links in the show notes and everything for you.
Awesome.
Well, fellas, best of luck.
Thank you.
With everything here. I'm really happy for you. The material's sounding great. I'm looking forward to hearing more of it from you and everything in the near future. So, God, time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on, Michael.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
thanks so much.
Come back anytime, fellas, and I mean that. You're
Appreciate
always
that.
welcome here. Folks, we got a chance to catch up with Gastem today. Looking forward to new releases and new material out by the end of 2025, we're hoping. So thanks again, fellas. And stick around, folks. We'll be back right after the break. You're listening to The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in and listening, and hope you enjoyed today's interview. Remember, The Back of the Rack is on every Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and our replay is every Wednesday morning from 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern Time on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. You can download our free app and listen anytime, anywhere. Also, don't forget our YouTube channel. Hit the like and subscribe button and allow for notifications so you'll be the first to know whenever new episodes air. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Log on and crank it up. The station your mother warned you about. 97underground.com.